this morning as I was having my time with God, praying, I was meditating on His Word, and I was also reflecting about the upcoming school year that's starting in a couple weeks. And I was thinking about the things that we do to have a strong start to our homeschool year. And as I was praying and talking to the Lord brought these 4 things to my mind. It was such an encouragement to me that I felt to also share it with you. So in this video, I'm going to share 4 ways that you can start your homeschool year strong. Hi, my name is Celeste. If we haven't met before, I am the homeschooling mom of 3 boys. This year, my husband and I will have an 8th grader, a 6th grader, and a 4th grader. At the end of our homeschool year, I shared our top tips to finishing a homeschool year strong. So in this video, I want to share our top 4 tips to starting a homeschool year strong. Tip number 1 is prepare. And when we think of our preparing as homeschool moms, maybe the first thing you think about are all the things, right? Our supplies, our homeschool space, the physical things that we do need to prepare. But I want to encourage you today to be able to first and foremost prepare yourself, that we may prepare ourselves as homeschool moms, especially on the inside. Prepare ourselves spiritually for the task at hand. Being a homeschool mom requires a lot. There are a lot of different hats that we wear. There's a lot on our plate. And it's something that I know for myself, I can't do it in my own strength. So taking the time to really seek the presence of God, have time in His Word, refuel yourself, equip yourself, speak to the Lord, ask Him what's His heart for our children for this new homeschool year. Look for that guidance, that strength, and the renewal. I think that's one of the top things that we can do to start our homeschool year strong. We want to do the same for our families, for our children, our marriages. We want to take time to spiritually prepare. Our theme verse, I think I've shared it so many times on this channel, but it's Colossians 3:23. When we started our homeschool, it was a verse that God brought to my heart. And since then, we're going into our 4th year. It has stayed strong as our vision, as our focus. It says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord and not for people. So as we are preparing to homeschool to the glory of God, being able to prepare each one of our relationships, adjust, see where we need to work, maybe where we need to have time as a family, pray together. Also team up with your spouse, take time to pray as a marriage. For everything, let's make sure we're spiritually strong for the task at hand. The last part of prepare is our space and supplies. So definitely the more that we can prepare as we approach our homeschool year, the easier it will be to have a nice, smooth start. End of homeschool year video, I talked about cleaning out the classroom and setting it for the new homeschool year. So it's something that we have worked on throughout the summer, little by little, and continue to kind of finalize. But if you haven't had the time, I think it's wonderful to be able to clean out the space, get it fresh, get it ready, see what your supplies you need, stock up, prepare your manuals, prepare your teacher supplies. Whatever you can do before will really help you have a successful start to your new homeschool year. The second tip is to decide. Is to decide to finish. I want to encourage especially new homeschool families, or even some of us that's done it for a few years, or even those veterans that have done it for much longer than I have. It's so wonderful when we can decide to finish. We in our family feel the Lord has called us to homeschool, and we want to honor God in this assignment and finish it strong in Jesus' name. It does not mean that along the way, we're not going to make adjustments. We almost definitely will make adjustments. And any homeschool family that's homeschooled for a year, for a month, you realize that there are adjustments that need to be made. I recently talked in a video about homeschooling being a journey. It was a video that I did in Spanish. I did include English subtitles. If you'd like to check out that video, I'll be sure to link it. I talked about how there are different stops in our homeschooling journey, and I compared it to a trip, right? Like if you're taking a trip on a bus or on a plane, there are different parts in our journey, and we have to make adjustments many times throughout our journey. But the important thing is to finish strong, to be able to finish the course. And I think that making the decision up front really sets us up for a strong finish in the end. My third tip to a strong start to your homeschool is to maintain a grateful heart when things are hard, when things can get a little challenging. To maintain a grateful heart, it is such a blessing and a privilege to be able to homeschool our children. It's something that I can say I never imagined that I would be doing. It's not something that I can honestly say I had planned out. It really was something the Lord guided us to as a family. And every single day day, even in those moments that it's really challenging. Maybe you're going through a sickness, you're going through a hard season, there's a challenge that you are facing as a family. It's so wonderful to remember, Lord, thank you, because it truly is a privilege the Lord has given us to be able to homeschool our children for the glory of God. Also want to maintain our spiritual tanks full. So I talked about the importance of being able to prepare ourselves spiritually. We also need to maintain ourselves spiritually. So one of the things that as we are working on our schedules, right, for our homeschool day, how our days are going to flow, I encourage you, Mom, to prioritize your time with the Lord. I understand that we have different realities depending on your children's ages. If you're homeschooling with babies, there are a lot of different realities, and you know what will work best for you. But in some way or shape or form, try to find a way to have that time with God, because it truly sets us up for success. It allows me, I can say, allows Celeste to kind of tone down and more Jesus to come up. And that's really what we want. Less of us and more of him as we are homeschooling, as we are living our lives, and as we are raising our families. So maintaining our spiritual tanks full is so important. We also want to maintain a willing heart. I think we could all testify to how much we've learned in our homeschool journey, right? We learn right along with our children, not just academically, but we also grow as people. Sharing a character building series, right? And as I've been looking through this, The Pyramid of Success, the book that I've been sharing, it's amazing because these are character building qualities that not just we want to see in our children, but God is also working in our lives as homeschool moms. So I hope to continue with that series. You can keep an eye out for it in the upcoming videos if you're interested, but it is something that the Lord does in our lives. He's building up our characters. He's working on us as well, just as he's working on our children. My fourth and final tip for starting the homeschool year strong is enjoy. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. The reality is time goes so fast. We are going into our fourth year homeschooling, and honestly, as I was reflecting this morning, I was thinking about how our oldest son was in 5th grade when we started homeschooling, and now he's going into his 8th grade year, his last year before high school. And this morning I'm like, wow, Lord, how did we get here? How did time go so fast? Have we really been homeschooling for almost 4 years? It truly does go so quickly, and it's something that I didn't imagine to be approaching the high school years so quickly, but here they are. Something that we want to take advantage of. Our children will not be here forever. We know the Lord has called them to great things. Just as the name of this channel says, our children are God's arrows that he has placed in our hands. They may fly, just as arrows do, into the purpose for which God has created them. And we know that each one of our children, each one of your children, the Lord created with great purpose. And these homeschooling years are such an instrumental part of that formation, of that preparation for the great calling on each one of their lives. So know this, homeschool mom, that the work that you are doing in this new homeschool year, it matters, it's important, and it has an eternal impact, not just in the lives of your children, but also in all the lives that your children's lives will touch. In the beginning of our last year, I also shared some ideas or some tips for the first day of school. So I'll be sure to link that at the end of the video in case you'd like to check out our tips for the first day of school. I'll also include our curriculum choices in case you'd like to check them out. I pray that you and your family are well. I pray you are blessed. I pray that you have a wonderful, strong start to your homeschool year. The Lord goes before us. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to talking to you soon.